Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, the Albay Veterinary Office AVO is stepping up efforts to intensify its information campaign on rabies, a vaccine-preventive disease, to address the increasing number of fatalities in the province. AVO is now in dialogue with the Provincial Health Office PHO and various agencies such as the Department of Health Bicol Center for Health and Development, cascading these efforts to the local government units, LGUs and barangays, starting from the grassroots level. The head of Animal Health and Regulatory Division, Dr. Manny Victorino, revealed that they are in constant dialogue with the various departments and agencies which have a crucial role in dealing with rabies issues. In other story, Governor Greg Hallare is encouraging Albayanos to patronize locally produced products in the province, as it marks positive effects not only in the economic aspects, but also in the preservation of the Albay's culture. This was according to an exclusive interview with Hallare during the recently concluded Conscious Couture fashion show, where he also emphasized the significant role of every Albayano to maintain culture through fabrics. Hallare also added that the provincial government of Albay is doing its best to further the skills of local producers as they drive to continue producing our local fabrics. In other news, the Albay Veterinary Office AVO, in partnership with the local government unit LGU of Ligao through the National Meat Inspection Service Regional Office 5, conducts the first ever province-level basic meat inspection course, BMIC. A said program is a capability-building activity crafted for LGU meat inspectors, meat control officers, and other personnel performing meat inspection work. Dr. Pancho Melia, provincial veterinarian, said that the attendance to such is important for meat inspectors in every LGU as to prevent and detect public health hazards such as foodborne pathogens or chemical contaminants in meat. In the national scene, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. on Monday, March 4, said the Philippines will continue the dialogue and diplomacy with China to address rising tensions in the South China Sea, but will push back when the country's sovereignty, sovereign rights, and other jurisdictions in the West Philippine Sea are ignored. In his speech at the Lowy Institute in Melbourne, Australia, Marcos vowed to continue to engage with China bilaterally and through ASEAN-led mechanisms to peacefully manage disputes. Clarified, however, that he will defend the country against threats to its territorial integrity. Despite the clarity provided by international law, the president said provocative, unilateral, and illegal actions continue to infringe on the Philippines' sovereignty. In other story, the Department of Justice has ordered the filing of sexual abuse of a minor, child abuse, and qualified human trafficking charges against Kingdom of Jesus Christ founder, Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. The Department of Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Rimulya said the decision came after a review of the dismissal of rape, child abuse, and human trafficking complaint filed against Kibuloy and 5 others by the Davao City Prosecutor's Office in 2020. The alleged sexual abuse and other crimes happened in 2014, and the charges were filed at the prosecutor's office in 2019. In other news, Foreign Affairs Secretary Enrique Manalo told AFP on Monday that his country wants to solve maritime disputes with China peacefully, but delivered a simple message to Beijing to stop harassing the Philippines. Speaking on the sidelines of an ASEAN-Australia summit in Melbourne, Manalo defended his government's policy of publicizing China's maneuvers in contested maritime territory, including the recent passage of warships near Scarborough Shoal. China claims almost the entire South China Sea as its territory, brushing aside claims from a host of Southeast Asian nations. And in the news outside the country, U.S. Special Envoy Amos Hochstein said on Monday, March 4, that a truce in Gaza would not necessarily bring an authentic end to hostilities across Lebanon's southern border, and he warned about the risk of an escalation of the conflict. Hochstein is visiting Beirut as part of the diplomatic efforts to end 4 months of exchanges of fire between Hezbollah and Israel taking place in parallel to the Gaza war. It has marked the worst conflict across Lebanon's southern border since the 2006 war, fueling fears of a bigger confrontation. In other story, Hamas and Egyptian mediators said on Monday, March 4, they were pressing on with the talks on securing a ceasefire in Gaza, despite an Israeli decision not to send a delegation. The ceasefire talks, which began in Cairo, are billed as a final hurdle to establish the first extended ceasefire of the 5-month-old war, in time for the Ramadan Muslim fasting month, which is expected to begin on Sunday. A second Palestinian source close to the talks said the discussions remained uneasy, with Israel sticking to its demand for only a temporary truce to free hostages, while Hamas was seeking assurances war would not start up again. And finally, in the news outside the country, Dmitry Medvedev, deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council and an ally of President Vladimir Putin, said on Monday, March 4, that Ukraine was part of Russia and ruled out peace talks with the current Ukrainian leadership. In a bellicose speech in southern Russia, Medvedev said Russia would prosecute what it calls its special military operation until the other side capitulated. He said that what he called historical parts of Russia should return home. He ruled out peace talks with the current Ukrainian leadership led by President Volodymyr Zelensky and said any future Ukrainian government that wanted talks would need to recognize what he called the new reality on the ground. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, March 5, 2024. I'll be right back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Franchime Boras, and on the technical side, Chad Bobis. And our provincial information officer, Attorney Mary Luduca Castillo. And under the supervision of our governor, Attorney Edsel Grexlagman, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.